5:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, October 17th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'm actually starting this probably about 20 minutes sooner than I had planned. I got everything set up, was all ready to go. I didn't want to wait. So I figured, heck, I got everything set up. We'll get it started early today. So, excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Chatting with J Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP 589 or the XRP Diamond Hand Badge. How awesome is that? And a $10 donation to start out the live. That's incredibly awesome. What a positive way for me to start this live. Thank you, Trading with J Ride. Swirl View, YouTube, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I greatly appreciate that. Messi, good evening. UK Phil and Mo, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Eddie, good evening. Syrian, welcome in, and thanks for being a very trusted mod and being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Shane, welcome in from Australia. Papa Wheelie, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month, along with Jorge, with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and that's my face superimposed on there. Daniel, looks like the SEC dropped the ball today. I disagree wholeheartedly. I did an update earlier. As I showed documents, some people are saying that that's not relevant, but I believe it is. It was back on the 4th, and it stated that they had 14 days to do what they needed to do, which falls tomorrow. That's their deadline. There's also another piece of documentation that would suggest it's tomorrow as well. So I think they didn't drop the ball on anything, and they've got every right to do it until the 18th, and they've even got every bit to use that as an excuse on what's happened within the case. So I don't think they dropped the ball. I think that was a lot of rubbish that's been pushed around, a lot perpetrated by Ripple and Garlinghouse, but would you expect anything different from Brad Garlinghouse or Ripple at this point? I think a lot of people expect a lot of transparency when we've gotten none of that thus far, so don't expect that going forward from Ripple or Brad Garlinghouse. I mean, that's just my own 2 cents. The Gatman XRP Healthcare fell over 13%. We'll take a look at that, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Killuminati, welcome into the XRP break out of the 7-year pattern. It's, yeah, the just under 7-year pattern. It's to the top side of it right now. Now, whether or not we can say, you know, 100% that it's broken out of it, I can't say that yet because it looks like it's been in much of a rising channel since it broke out, and I know some people don't want to talk about that, but I'm a bearer of bad news a lot of times. But you've got that little bit of a rising formation. I mean, I just call it for what I see it. And then if you start from down here, you've got a more of a rising this kind of looks like a rising channel here. These are bearish as on the whole. So yeah, it's over the top of it right now, but I still see a lot of evidence that suggests that XRP could find itself back down near that 50-cent mark. Well, we'll take a deep look at the XRP chart because this bear flag we've been in, which is in the daily time frame, is not good. This Deathcross, it's not good. And we've been inside of a bear flag, which is also not good. We finished the FVG gap that I've talked about that I thought would keep us from falling the rest of the way until it actually cleared that fair value gap. We filled that now. My target was 55.9 for that gap. We know it could come all the way up to 58.45, which is the technical move on this breakout of the bear flag, but this isn't accounting it for a breakout. The fair value gap fill and drop was just that. So we'll see if it can get out of this section. Daniel, welcome in. Rob Holkelick, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for well over 6 months now with the XRP Predictor. Hope you're having a blessed evening, my friend. Hopefully work wasn't too stressful today, as we're almost to the end of the grind this week. So we've got a lot to discuss as far as the charts, but we've also got a little bit of news to discuss. I'll share once again, for anybody who didn't see this earlier, just so that you can see the documentation that I was just speaking of. I did a 4-minute update. But honestly, we're all here right now. I don't need to go back there. But Fred Rispoli, he had this share. He had shared this. And this is from the Court of Appeals, the Second Circuit. Some people tell me this doesn't matter. I disagree. This is my own personal interpretation of what matters. I disagree. It's not. I disagree with Brad Garlinghouse. I believe he's there to stir up some controversy. But look, the date, October 14th, 2024. Everybody can say what they want. This is the United States Courts of Appeal for the Second Circuit, Thurgood Marshall U.S. Courthouse in New York, New York, yada, yada, Catherine Wolf, Clerk of Court. And this is just from October 4th, 2024. And if you just read this, it says the form must be completed and returned within 14 days of the date of this notice. The form requires the following information. And then it shows the correct contact information, review the party information on the docket sheet, and note any incorrect information in writing on the acknowledgement and notice. And it's just, this talks about they have 14 days from October 14th. So they didn't miss any deadline. If they're able to acknowledge the information from the notice and review all party information and note any incorrect information, does that sound like to you something they missed on the 16th? Like, just read in between. There's no way that they could have made such a unbelievably false outlook on this. Like, and then it says, I wouldn't get too excited about an untimely Form C filing. It should have been filed by 2359 and 1016. That did not happen. However, the local rules of the Second Circuit states failure to comply may result in dismissal of the appeal. This is them. Sorry to say, appellate courts give a lot of leeway to federal agencies. Even a lame excuse from the government is likely enough to allow the court to let it slide. That's like, they're the ones who perpetrated this, everybody. Their own lawyers perpetrated this, and that's why I said this is nonsense. They can spin it however they want, saying the Form C filing and all this. So, but I mean, you guys can say whatever you want. I'm just telling you, I know they're going to file it tomorrow. They've got every right to do it. And the form I shared dictates that they have things going until tomorrow. Yeah, it's not Form C, but I'm telling you, this is, everybody seems to think, if this happens, it happens. But to push this information as if the SEC missed it, you know, I don't believe it. I don't believe it until they actually say the SEC is not allowed to do it because they made an error. I don't believe it. I think this is all floof. I think this was all a strategic scheme to get the price to go up to that strategic area where we talked about the fair value gap. But I just don't see it the way most do, honestly. Mo, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months now with the XRP Predictor. Unbelievable. Crazy Paul, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. 14 days would make it to the... What are you talking about? No, it wasn't. The 14 days from the 4th is the 18th. We're not talking... We're talking about 14 days. Now, if you're talking about like... But that's the speculation. That's all the speculation. So, before the next escrow drop... Yes, it would. 14 days of the 28th. I mean, that would be from today, but it would be 14. I mean, it's interesting because everything's going to start lining up now. But even the Ripple CLO came out and predicted a timeline for the SEC appeal. And Stuart Alderody said, this implies by today, October 16th, the SEC must submit Form C, a document that will outline the specific aspects of the case it intends to challenge on appeal. And then... Let's see. This was on the 15th. Tarek continued relaying Eldorado's insights. 7 days later, Ripple will file its own Form C, which will give more details about its own cross appeal. Now, everybody is making a big deal about them not filing it on the 16th. They can claim that they needed more time because of the moving parts. I'm telling you, the Form C is so easy to go around. That's not going to be an issue. Everybody says, oh, they didn't file Form C. They've got stipulations within the rules right now that say that they have reasons why they can wait. I just think everybody's making a big deal about nothing right now. Just because Form C, would anybody have even known this? Would anybody have even known this if anybody from Ripple wouldn't have spouted off? No. Nobody would even said anything about Form C. I never heard anything about Form C until Ripple and Alderody and Rispoli said something about this. Like, nobody ever said anything about Form C until this was brought up. I think this is a ruse again. I think it was a ruse. Somebody says, I highly doubt it's a scheme to rise at 3 cents. It's not about the 3 cents. It's a little bit deeper than that. It's a little bit deeper than that. And it's gone up more than 3 cents. So, They need really good reason why. You guys just, that's everybody's opinion. We'll see. Here's what I get to say. I'll hold the reserved my right to say anything until we see what happens tomorrow. Until then, it's just speculation and conjecture. But what I was doing earlier was proving that they have until tomorrow. Whether you agree with the document I shared or not, it stipulates that they have until tomorrow with this case. So whether you guys want to find the, you know, the needle in a the needle in a haystack, if you want to find that smoking gun, the bottom line is they've got until tomorrow. Spin it however the hell you want. Did the case get thrown out today? No. So I don't really care, honestly. All I've seen is a bunch of people on YouTube today perpetrate a bunch of bullshit for views. That's all I see. That's all I ever see. If I could get the truth out of anybody, it'd be nice, but I never can because everybody's always got their own agenda. So I'm going to reserve the right to see things the way I see fit. So both parties will then agree on a briefing schedule, and the SEC then has up to 90 days to file its first brief. Alderodi says he expects them to take the full 90 days. That opening brief will be a full... Isn't it funny that Alderodi said this on the 15th and then Ripple came out on the 16th saying, oh, they missed everything. It's over, and then it got perpetrated like this when the real news is in what Alderodi actually told us. How many people are talking about this? Nobody. They'd rather talk about the nonsense. You really think the SEC is just going to lose this case because they didn't make a proper filing? If you think that, you really haven't been paying attention. I don't think enough people are paying attention. That's okay. So, SEC has 90 days to file its first brief. Alderodi says he expects them to take the full 90 days. That opening brief will be a full recitation. I don't know, I can't say it, of all the legal arguments that the SEC will be making. Ripple will file a response in its own brief, according to Alderodi. The full briefing process will go through July of 2025. The SEC's decision to appeal follows the final ruling on August 7th. Judge Annalisa Torres of the U.S. District Court of Southern District of New York granted permanent blah, blah, blah. I don't care about all of that. On October 2nd, the SEC formally announced its intent to appeal the ruling by filing a notice of appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. Notably, the SEC has not yet articulated the specific grounds of the appeal. The forthcoming Form C is expected to provide more detailed information about the legal arguments the SEC plans to advance. In a response, the SEC's appeal of Ripple announced on October 10th that would file a cross appeal. Struler already stated via X the SEC lost on all key points. We already know about all this. We've shared about all this. So we've shared all that. So one other thing while I'm on this page, let's look at the crypto fear and greed index today. I want to see where it sits. Oof. We were all the way up at 71 right now. Man, oh man, that's getting up there. That is getting up there. That is getting up there. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. Really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. And if you are watching, everybody, please make sure to hit that like button. We are struggling so hard on the videos lately to, well, actually, up forever, to get proper likes on the videos. So if you are watching this live, you appreciate what I do, you appreciate the information, or you just want to make sure the content gets pushed around so it gets pushed through the YouTube news feed, make sure to hit that like button so we become part of the recommendations. Then when you go on YouTube, my content will pop up when you're looking through your news feed. It's that simple. If we don't hit the like button, we don't get the proper audience, we can't expand our audience, and we can't continue to push this info. And I believe in the info we push because I give the truth. I don't spread facade. You know, that's not what I like to do. Mark Caston, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. So we're still very much in this bear flag setup that is broken up initially to the FEG gap we had at 55.9. We understand 57.3 to 7, somewhere in there. There is speculation of a higher gap, but to me, as long as that 55.9 cent filled, we were fine. That was the lower gap that was obvious. And the upper gap could be speculation. It could be a little bit more, but we technically fell down, came right back up, and then pulled down, so I don't really see it as much of a factor. But if we don't hold this area, this is where it gets. This is where we start to pay the piper a little bit. We've already started to fill these gaps. Now, does that mean it's done going up? Not necessarily. But you notice how this came down. It looks like an inverted hammer candle. However, We have a death cross here, and it looks like we're going to very easily close below the 54.87 possibly today. If that's the case, not only are we below the 20-day in the daily, but the 200 days at 55.30. We've got a hell of a way to go up right now if we want to save this. Now, with it being an inverted hammer, could this just be a setup to the next candle to give us to the technical move up because we haven't given back 54.30? Possibly. Because we do know the technical target out of the short-term bear flag is actually to go up to 58.45. Now, the caveat of this is just creating the upslope to that fair value gap almost in a rising channel form, and then it just drops the hammer on us once we filled that gap. And that's what I was playing the earlier part of the week. That was some of the copy trades. If you're interested in copy trading, follow me on BLOFIN. You have to click on the link and follow through the link. When we finished on HOTCOIN, we were plus $242. And now on BLOFIN, we're plus like $75. So if you add it all up, we're plus like $320 in the copy trading, which is great. You know, I have fun doing it, but I don't talk about it a lot. So you can always follow me there on BLOFIN. We've had a little bit of success this week doing the copy trading. But like I said, you got to follow through the link. And then if you're on BLOFIN, search XRP Future Millionaire, and you'll easily find me. This, however, making me a little skeptical here. Make me a little skeptical. This looks like a rising channel to me. I mean, look at this. That's a perfect rising channel with the bear flag. Or, I mean, with the bull flag. Or bear flag within the Deathcross formation, too. I mean, this doesn't look great. This doesn't look right. Like I said, it always looks like this bear flag, unless we break down, we're in some trouble. What's going on with XRPH? I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be many years. You're going to have to buy and hold and buy and make sure it's in the proper position when you buy. And right now, I mean, what's going on with it is it's just correcting back down. Nothing much. I mean, there's nothing much. I can't really say anything that's really going on with it. It's just doing what it's doing. It could very well come all the way back down to 1.8. So I said don't buy way up top. Only buy when it gets back into the rotational pole. So we just might be coming back down to that rotational spot. And then if it comes down, we could get a big opportunity. But it's not ready yet. XRP Healthcare, I never pushed it as being ready. I just said when it gets in the right spots, you can adapt to your positions. Now, if you haven't bought yet, you could find yourselves in a very nice... I started buying at 1.7. So if it comes back in that under 2 cent range, I'm probably going to find a way within Zoom to buy some more. So we could be getting back to that, but it's just so early. This is a long-term outlook here with XRP Healthcare. It's a long-term outlook, so we're going to get many more spikes, but it's going to be a matter of sitting through it. But nothing's going on with it, really. Nothing's really going on with it. It's just kind of sitting pat. Is it time for algo? I don't think it's really time for anything in the rotation yet, because I see everything within bear flags that if they do fall off, we're going to get algo at 7 cents or 8 cents. I really feel like the market could... We got to make sure that we don't get this overwhelming drop down here. The factor on the bottom side of these is not a good sign. Like, I feel like the market is getting ready for something bigger here. The fact that XRP filled its gap, I feel like we're getting something ready for something bigger here. Thanks to Tom, I own thousands of XRP. Yep. And hopefully you're buying them, you know, where you feel comfortable with. But I'm telling you, my day that I cannot wait for with XRP is for it to get below 40 cents again so I can buy more. For fuck's sake. It's been too long since I've been able to add anything. I've been able to add one time in the last year and a half, which was earlier this year when it got to 38 cents. But then I massively sold out almost all of them, $5,000 worth. I added 2,000 extra XRP, like $1,000 worth, maybe a little over 1,000 to my cold wallet. But then I sold the rest of them through the XRP Bitcoin pairing, as most of you know if you're following. But fuck, man, this don't look good. I feel like this could get XRP right back down to 40 cents. I feel like these bear flags have to be invalidated, okay? Can I say it loud enough? The bear flags have to be, you know... Jan, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years, love, with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. I love to see you're still around. I know you are, but it's always nice to see you. I need to see that question again, but we're in a very tricky spot here, folks. We have that gigantic bear flag. We filled the FVG that I was talking about, which was our saving grace until now for it to not fall quicker. And now, you know, that Deathcross is kind of hanging over our heads here. It really, really is. Yeah, bigger in what way, you ask, Jan? Bigger in the fact I think we're going farther down. Unless it proves me wrong, I think we're going farther down. So I think it's bigger than the drop we've seen so far, that's all. I think it's bigger. I think we've probably seen half the drop we're looking at. If that makes me a dick, I'm sorry. Jan, member for 34 months. Wow, almost approaching that diamond hands badge. Busy with family stuff, but still here. I can completely understand that. It's been a little harder for me to do the lives the last couple weeks with all the school stuff and everything. Yesterday was busy with my son and the girl stuff, so it didn't pan out. Today, however, it's panning out very nicely, and I'm very excited to do this live, as I am every day. You know, I try to bring the same energy because we're doing something big here. But something bigger's happened, and I think they're about to pull the wool over our faces. I really do. The problem I also have is with Bitcoin. When we broke up, I said on the way up, I'm okay because I think we have to come to 68,322. Now, let me ask everybody a real honest question here. Do you think Bitcoin's ready to break this cup and handle and start making the move to 115? Or do you think it still needs to retest that lower support at 47 on that megaphone formation, which is the cup and handle, which is the handle? Or do you think it just needs to establish this uptrend now? Do you think it needs to up to 57,000 and reestablish that as the newfound uptrend? You know, or does it just break out? If it's ready to break out, we've got a massive, and I mean historical move. It could come back to 64,400 area, like somebody said, 64,500. That was the pivot layer. Because we could be on our way. It's just we've got to break this last barrier here. That's the handle resistance. And for anybody who's paid attention to XRP, you know how big of a pain in the ass it is to get over the handle resistance. As XRP's been trying to do it all year. And it can't. XRP's handle resistance right now is at 58.74, and it just can't do it. It just can't do it. Now, I have a strong suspicion if Bitcoin, you know, were to go all the way up, well, then obviously XRP would break over that big barrier. But until that's done, XRP's been stuck. We've just been stuck in this cup and handle. We can't even get back over the rising channel. So it does look like a rejection in a lot of ways. For Bitcoin, it looks like a big rejection at 68,322. And it's like, you know, how do we know that that's an area of real resistance? Well, the fact we've had it up here. But now we need to make sure that we actually fall down. This could be gathering steam to break out. That's if we see it on the top side here, let's say in real terms. You see it at 68,200 using it as support. Look out. Because there's a chance here Bitcoin is getting hot. You know, but we can't tell yet. Just like XRP, there's a very real chance we're getting hot here. And I hope to see, I'll preface this, I hope this doesn't play out in the Deathcross, and I hope the 2-hourly golden cross plays out. But until it invalidates the pattern, you never can take a 2-hour golden cross at its face when you have a Deathcross in the daily that's being rejected currently. So we've got to have this stuff breaking out. We have to. We have to. Otherwise, it's going to break down. Bitcoin is more towards the overbought than oversold. It's back in the, you know, the neutral ranges, but I have my RSI inverted, so the down is not oversold. It's overbought. The top is not overbought. It's oversold. I just have my inverted so I can see who's actually part of the audience religiously or not. Just something I do so I can keep track of who's in here. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Doesn't that look like a gigantic rising channel here that's on the bear flag? These are not by design bullish. Now, if we want to say we're not going to fall the entire way of the bear flag, and maybe it just needs to fall out and then correct itself, well, I mean, that's also going to be pretty difficult to just do that. But I can understand. So if it does that, we'd have something like maybe a drop back down to 51. But still, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is getting a little interesting now. Can we acknowledge that this is a giant bear flag that looks like it started a rising channel on it? I mean, am I wrong? Am I seeing something that doesn't exist? Oh, overbought. Gotcha, Messi. Yep. It is towards that overbought section. You are right about that, Messi. 100%. I wonder how many people are here today. Because there's a lot of people losing interest in XRP. Holy sh... Okay, well, that is the biggest surprise I've had all week. 110? There's 110 people in here right now. And only about 23% or 33% of you didn't hit the like button, which is fine. I thank you all for tuning in. I didn't realize there was that many people in here. Not that it makes a difference, but it does make me feel good. How about that? So thank you all for tuning in, even when it's, you know, in a bearish rotation. These are the times we learn a lot. So do we think this rising channel is actually going to break down? Like, I think, God, this sucks. I think this sucks. Because as much as I want this to be bullish, as much as I was able to do some copy trading, as much as I was able to say, oh, well, for leverage trading and doing this and that, if you're buying a spot position, here's the way to do it. Now we're past that point. Now that we filled that gap, I can't even in good faith open up a position of anything. You know, that's the thing. Jorge says, subscribe to the channel for great XRP news and TA. Yes, indeed. Please join the over 27,500 subscribers if you haven't already done that. It still feels so weird to say that many subscribers, but it really does mean a lot to me. And because of you all that are in Tom's Army, because of ones like Trading with J-Ride today, who sent the only YouTube super chat so far, but that's more than enough just having one, I'll be honest. That makes the day for me. I do this live ad-free. So when you're watching the live in real time while it's live, you never have to watch ads during it. I think it takes away from what we're trying to do here. So I turn the ads back on when it's in rerun. I turn it off, though, for all lives, and I've been doing this for a couple months now, and I think it just runs much, much smoother. And I just think we're able to understand each other more. But everybody, if you're new, understand if we break this rising channel, that 50.2 cent area, and if we could, we're going to have to come down a little bit, though, because it's going to take time. How about that? How about this? Out on October 19th, which is 2 days, that support would be at about 49.3 cents. So where does that line up with? So if we drop out of this short-term consolidation, the first target out of this short-term bear flag that we were denoting a bear flag instead of a rising channel when it first started to give us the first bounce, right? That would be a proper breakdown, first level 49.47. Now, does this line up a little bit maybe? 49.35. I mean, it's within margin of error. It really is. And the first level is 51.11 or 51.10. Now, if you're new to this channel, which I suspect some are, Brian, thank you so much for the $5 donation on Cash App. I am always so surprised to see when somebody sends one on Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, because I just don't get them that often on other platforms. So, Brian, I appreciate your due diligence. You've sent me quite a few on Cash App now. I'd say we've got to be over 50 bucks now, if I'm being honest. So I really appreciate that. Really, Brian, like, seriously. But with this, if you guys are not familiar with my channel, this is the all-time chart. Let's put it in the weekly. It looks a little bit better. So up here, and here, let's price label this all together so you can get the information you need to make an educated and informed decision, because after all, that's all we have is our education to make a decision. So $3.27, and remember, this is on Bitstamp. Obviously, on some, it went up to $3.80 or so as all-time high. That's January of 2018. We come all the way down here where it's circled to the swing low. That's about, it's just over 10 cents. And that was back on March of 2020, so it took 27 months. So that's support 1. Support 2 happened at 17.3 cents on December of 2020. Resistance 2 approximately happened April of 2021 at $1.96. Support 3 is somewhere down here, and that was at 31.4 cents, and that's approximately January of 2023. Now is where it gets interesting. Now is where we ask ourselves, after almost 7 years, did we finally bust this pattern, okay? And now we know we have third support. Now we get our third resistance, which is very important right here. And that was back on March of 2024. That confirmed the pattern. Came all the way back down to support 4 on July of 2024. Then we had resistance for somewhere around here, August of 24. Now, all of a sudden, is this support 1, or is this going to end up being resistance 5? We don't know. Now, we're getting some bad mojo here with the fact that it put in a bear flag. We're getting some good mojo with the fact that it's still over this consolidation for the first time in almost 7 years, and it's holding it. The bad news is we've got a death cross in the daily as well going with this bear flag. Now, another bit of bad news is we've got a rising channel that is now obviously formed. And the longer you stay in a rising channel, the less likely you are to break out. So, what is going to happen? So when somebody says, Tom, are we going up? Are we going down? I don't know. I do know it's looking more bearish than bullish, but it's looking extremely bullish because we're on the top side of that downtrending resistance for the first time since January of 2018. So how are we supposed to look at this? If we fall back in with between the uptrend that's been the same uptrending support as when this pattern started back at 18, the uptrend started in 2020 because that's when it hit the swing low finally. That would suggest 42 cents if we fall out of this. But if you look in real time, you got to start to catch up. So we'll put it into October 20th. That's 42.25. So, you know, I'm trying to do everything I can from an analytical standpoint to keep me properly informed, because it just doesn't look like we have the testicular fortitude to get all the way back up here and retest once again the cup and handle resistance. Like, it looks like we're about to fall out. Everything's starting to say we might fall out. Everything's starting to fall in a factor saying we might fall out. Now, when everything's saying we might fall out, are we going to fall out or are we going to break in? Because in the short term now, the technical trader that's not looking at the daily and only looking at the short-term time frame and the 2 hourly, they're like, holy shit, we got a golden cross, let's buy. What I'm saying here is not so fast, my friends, and hold your horses, for God's sake. Because we got to make sure this falling channel doesn't fall out. Like, you're going to have some very big risk assessment here if you're going to make a move. So, I mean, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. And not saying that it's, you know, this is guaranteed to play out in the exact way that I'm saying. Because there's no way we're going to know the end variable here. But we need to break out of this rising channel, death cross, bear flag. Any of that sound good to you? Anybody? If there's anybody watching that wants to comment, does this sound good to you? Or does it sound like we've got to be cautiously optimistic, like very cautiously optimistic, probably to the 75% optimistic, or we have to be 75% cautious and 25% optimistic, which makes us cautiously optimistic. Does that even make sense? I think so. Do I get to see comments? I don't know. Sometimes they go away on me, unfortunately. Sometimes I won't be able to see comments. And seeing that there is a decent amount of people, I would say I'm probably shadow banned on the comments right now, which is a shame. But that's okay. Maybe nobody wants to talk. I'll choose to believe that for a little bit. As we can see with gold, it's up to 2,692. It's up about 28 bucks on the day. The clock reflipped. B2 gold is slowly eking its way up, guys and gals. Just telling you, eking its way up. We've been talking about it since $2.32. I mean, at some point, I hope some of you took along for the ride. I believe $4 is not that far away for B2 gold. Actually, $5 if we're being honest, if it can break this. We have a big W reversal. That's a bullish setup. However, we're going to find ourselves, as we can see, overbought. In the smaller time frames, the daily's got a ton of room. Very bullish close. And it looks like it wants to come up to $3.90. That's where I'm looking for before we have some kind of correction. Unless we get on top of 390, the ultimate part of this pattern is 509. Huge descending consolidation. It's playing out exactly like I predicted earlier in the year. I even took out besides having 3,100 shares, as most of you know, I also took out an option when it was at $2.38, about $600 worth, for it to hit the $3.50 mark by the second week of January of 2025. I think it's January 18th or 16th. We'll just say 16th because it's either the 16th or 18th. If it matures by then at $3.50, I will now own all of those shares at $2.38 at $3.50, but for the price of $2.38. Or I can take all the profit if I want to just sell it. I'll probably buy the position. I'll probably have it mature into the position. So that's what I'm looking at there. Silver 31.69 right now. I think it's getting ready for a huge move, silver. It's just been consolidating very hard. And it looks like it's got that inversion all set up. Inverse left shoulder, inverse head, inverse right shoulder, breaking out, back testing and out. Looks like it's going to be off to the races at some point here. First target's 35.58. And it's given me a lot of time to continue to expand into that First Majestic and Fortuna Silver Mines. I've got about 700 shares. I don't really want to show it on the screen right now. Not that I don't trust all of you. I just don't want to show it. First Majestic, I've got 604 shares. And Fortuna, I've got just over 700. 712. So, and you all could have been buying along the way with me as well. We've had First Majestic for several dollars now. And Fortuna we had at $2.42 all the way up to 4 something, and then I didn't buy it for a while, and then I bought back in just over, right when it was teetering that $3.98 and $4 line. I said, you know what? It had this big drop, and now it's just been a healthy ride ever since for the last, for whatever the amount of time is. I don't dick around. I tell you what I do, and that's what I do. And then gold real quick. Like First Majestic, just like silver, looking at huge breakout. We're still waiting for that move to $8.55, and it looks like we're on track. Huge breakout off that descending consolidation. They used an acquisition to trick the retail traders, which was awesome because that's when I got back in here at $4.61, as most of you know. So we've been on a healthy tear here. Just a healthy tear. Healthy freaking tear. I love it. And then Fortuna Silver Mines. This is still within its own consolidation. Now, it looks like it's going to ride itself back up to the top of the formation, but if it did for some reason come down here, obviously I would sell it if it lost $4.40. You guys have to make sure you understand the risk, but I would get rid of it if it sold this and lost the 200-day at $4.35, because then I know I could get a much better deal lower. I'm just not convinced that's going to happen with what looks like what's going to happen with silver. So, you know, I tend to latch on at certain points. Right now, it's been a healthy ride back up. And then gold, because I don't believe we looked at the gold chart. We're cataclysmically breaking out of here. We've held 2,624. Our next resistance is 2,860. It's just, it is what it is. Whether you're paying attention to it or not, it's happening. It's happening. We made a shitload off of gold, silver. I own a lot of precious metals, in excess of 800 ounces of silver and 15 ounces of gold. So, like, I've bet against the U.S. dollar. Now, where I have it buried is another question, because I don't quite trust, you know, everybody I live by and things like that. So you have to have some underground plans. So that you would have to, well, that would be interesting if somebody found that, but good luck. Anyhow, it's been years and years in the making. It's not just precious metals. It's not just cryptocurrency. Gold and silver, they all work together. We need them to work together. I think a lot of people pit them apart, but that's not the case. They shouldn't be pitted apart. The USDT market cap, this is a very key indicator whether or not we're going bullish or bearish. And we had this little cup forming. Once it got up here, we suspected it would drop. That's why we had the little handle falling out. Now the question is this going to be more than a dropout? Because I had it coming through here and back testing it again. But does it break this? If it loses, like, I would say, if I'm being honest, if we're being honest here, and we're looking at this straight through, like on the up and up, you're going to want to acknowledge the fact you don't want to lose that. So we still got room to come down. So it's not, I'm not going to make it sound like we have to make it or break it here, but the farther you come, the less of a chance you have to hold a handle here in the short term. And then it could invalidate that thesis of that handle. And then it could just create into a bigger inverse pattern. So it doesn't seem like everything's just done with what it's doing. Like, it doesn't just seem the correction is over, but I'd be the first one to come back on here and say, here we go, guys. We're trying to invalidate this thesis, because right now that's what we're trying to do. If we don't lose 53.10, that's a big way. If we don't lose, well, that's the last chance, but we can't lose 54.30. 54.30 is a big moment. We're going to have a big moment at 54.30 if we can hold it, because that's the back test here of this short-term, what we're trying to get out of this short-term bear flag. But obviously, let me get rid of some of this, because we already know the numbers. We know the lower numbers. We know 49. We know it from the other chart. But if you look at this and you just look at it as a whole, if we're getting rejected here, and this is coming down now, I mean, it does tend to want to show us a lower area. Now, if we come down there, notice we'll invalidate that W. We'll invalidate what could be perceived as a bull flag with an overextension when it came down. So there's a lot that we could invalidate by coming down. So it's not just cut and dry here. Like, oh, this is what XRP is going to do. I'm going to get on my phone so I can see if there's any comments. Holy crap. I do see that we had somebody send a donation as well. Nazir Khan, thank you for not only being part of Tom's army for your first month at the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and that is my face superimposed on there. Thank you for the 140. I think it's ZAR. I know that's in Africa, but thank you for the 140 ZARs. I really appreciate that. I don't even want to speculate when it comes out to my own money because that's not relevant. I just appreciate the donation. I really, really do. And he says, I think cautious. I agree. Cautious 80%, Jorge said before. DXY's at 103.77. Yeah, we'll look at that as well. Messy. $140. Jason Walls, 140 ZARs. It's like 20 cents on the dollar. If you it was a great donation, though. Great donation. Very generous. Is the appeal filing for today, I'm guessing? Why do all articles say they missed it? Because all these articles are... They're grasping at straws. Actually, it's tomorrow. They've got until the 18th. 18th is when they should have everything put in. And that's just my interpretation. I don't think they missed anything, if I'm just being honest. Now, we did have some good news with the XRP Ledger. I was going to talk about this if I had time, and we've only been on 41 minutes, so I'm being good today. So, top XRP Ledger DEX repels DDoS attack. And this is big news for anybody who's putting faith on the XRP Ledger as I am. Magnetic X, a top decentralized exchange on the XRP Ledger, has successfully repelled a recent distribution denial of service, DDoS, attack. According to a Monday announcement, according to the exchange, the DDoS attacker wanted a ransom payment of several thousand Tether. However, instead of paying the ransom, the exchange chose to expand and upgrade its system. The doc says that its service have been reconfigured and scaled in order to handle millions of requests. Earlier today, Magnetic X announced that it was facing a DDoS attack. It warned users that the website was unstable. Back in January, it also sounded the alarm over a massive DDoS attack that took place on the ledger. With hundreds of accounts making millions of transactions, the project was also affected by the attack, with some of its applications not being able to retrieve transaction history due to nodes being overloaded. Magnetic DEX is an interface that makes it possible to interact with the XRP Ledger DEX. It is worth noting that the XRP Ledger is believed to have the oldest decentralized exchange. Its DEX has been operational since 2012. Magnetic DEX allows users to place orders in a convenient way after connecting their wallet. Apart from the decentralized exchange interface, Magnetic, see, that's what it is. They missed the word. Whatever. X offers such functionality as automated market maker AMM pools, yield farming, and NFT creation. According to data provided by DApp Radar, Magnetic is the leading app on the XRP Ledger. It is ahead of XP Mer KT, First Ledger, XRP Cafe, Sologenic, and on XRP. So, I think that's good news. It's good to know that it's actually repelling instead of paying the ransoms on the Ledger these days. Yeah, it is good to know, you know? Good to know. It's something. My phone so I can see, let's see what else we got going on here. Make sure I don't miss anything. I'm in the UK and it's currently 11:21 p.m. I'm guessing the appeal deadline would be 5 a.m. for me if it's 18th, which puts Eastern time at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Yep. I personally don't believe they missed anything either, but I'd be interested to know what happened in the closed meeting today. Oh, I'd be interested to know as well. Exactly what happened to go down. I'm just trying not to, you know, get myself psyched up on something that I know is likely not the case, if I'm being honest. And then I wanted to read this because XRP's volume did go up 50% during all of this drama. So XRP rockets 50% in volume as SEC versus Ripple appeal drama develops. So the popular cryptocurrency XRP is showing interesting dynamics in its trading activity today. According to data from CoinGlass, the trading volume of derivatives, namely perpetual futures on XRP, is growing by more than 50% today. At the same time, all other crypto assets are experiencing an opposite decline in trading volume, both on the spot and futures market. The clue to such anomalous, non-conformist movement of the seventh largest cryptocurrency may lie in the interesting situation of the SEC's case against Ripple. The thing is that everyone expected the regulatory file an appeal against the crypto company yesterday. However, that did not happen, and no one understood what would happen next. Everyone began to wonder if the SEC would appeal the court's ruling on the regulator's case against Ripple, including XRP. Until the truth is revealed by either side, the cryptocurrency is experiencing an influx of attention, including increased trading activity. The trading volume of XRP perpetual futures is now over 1.4 billion. As for the spot market, the numbers are similar. XRP to USD by coin market cap. In addition to the obvious 50% increase in volume, the ratio of volume in the cryptocurrency market capitalization is also indicative of increased trading activity. With a total of almost 3 billion and a market cap of 31.3 billion, this ratio is around 9.6%. This is higher than usual, and while not extraordinary, it does indicate a significant increase in trading activity for XRP. As long as volatility provides traders with opportunities, we can expect XRP to remain in the spotlight for XRP crypto market participants. And if you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, in this case XRP, and you're looking to do it worldwide, I have a couple different exchanges, and I'll explain myself to you why I use these exchanges. So BITUNIX is my favorite by far, the lowest spot and leverage trading fees I've come across. It's very easy to not only do spot, but very transparent when it comes to the leverage side. And it's just a exchange that I found my way with. There's no KYC or VPN on BITUNIX. Unless you send or receive from a bank account, you will be able to use it. And it's very simplistic worldwide, so give it a shot. And then I have HOTCOIN. HOTCOIN I use, yes, you can buy XRP spot, which it's very cheap. It's just as cheap as BITUNIX. Very easy, no KYC or VPN, and it's worldwide as well. But they also have the XRP Bitcoin pairing, which BITUNIX doesn't have. So I can buy the XRP Bitcoin pairing there. They also have a few cryptos that are not available on BITUNIX. They have a wider ecosystem. Yes, it might be a little more difficult to trade in some pairings, but you do get higher leverage opportunities, which does make the fees a little higher in leverage. So there is that. And then I have BLOFIN. If you want to copy trade me, we're up about 75 bucks on BLOFIN. We were up over 230 bucks on HOTCOIN, but unfortunately we had a myriad of issues, so we had to find another way. And it's a lot cheaper to use BLOFIN. We don't have the outrageous differentials when we buy our copy trade. I don't talk about it in the regular updates, but I promised I would still bring it up from time to time in the live if you're interested in joining the copy trading. So I decided to do this about 50 minutes in. So you can always join me on BLOFIN. You've got to join through that link because you have to be a direct invite. I'm not taking a chance at spammers anymore. And then you can copy trade me by typing in XRP Future Millionaire. There's 23 people copy trading me right now. So, and the highest person's made about $400. The lowest person that's lost money, it doesn't really add up because they only have $100 in, and it doesn't seem to be appropriately saying how much they've lost. So it's speculation at best, but, you know, it all depends how long you've been following. So that's a way to do that. And then if you want to send a donation outside of YouTube, you can always send a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. That's just the simplest way to do my things. And these are some names of people that are in Tom's army, as it can only show so many across, but there's so many people. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And then for you that are part of Tom's army, don't forget to go to the membership tabs, because that's where I share with the that's where I share the information of the copy trades that we had made. We made actually some pretty good money in the copy trade. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. If you're looking for more of a breakdown with what happened with the SEC, I did a 4-minute video earlier. So, you know, I'm trying to share all the information in the time I have. So I try to make the most out of these lives. I really, really do. I really try to make the most out of this. I try not to fill it up with the junk. I try to fill it up with things that are important. So, and then when a lot of people have talked about the Ripple, I read this story too today, and it's like, do I read this? I think so. I think so. So the Ripple CEO says IPO is not high priority. During a recent appearance on the Thinking Crypto podcast, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse stated that an initial public offering IPO has not been a high priority for Ripple. Ripple has no immediate plans to go public due to its long-standing legal battle with the SEC, stating that the agency is not Ripple-friendly. Garlinghouse explained that most companies choose to go public specifically because they want to raise capital. However, Ripple has been fortunate to be in a strong financial position. We have continued to make acquisitions. We've continued to invest in lots of different projects around crypto, around XRP. For now, a potential IPO remains on the back burner, or a back burner topic for Ripple, according to Garlinghouse. With that being said, the company is not taking anything off the table. We want to make sure that our shareholders have liquidity. We want to make sure our shareholders are happy. And we want to make sure that our company is valued appropriately, so we don't take anything off the table. It's not a high priority, Garlinghouse added. Speculation about Ripple plans to go public has been swirling for years. As reported by You Today, Garlinghouse previously stated that the company would explore an IPO after the end of the SEC lawsuit. Earlier this month, the SEC filed an appeal in the Ripple case, setting the stage for another prolonged legal battle that could last up until early 2026. In 2022, Garlinghouse confidently predicted that Ripple would be a public company in the future. So, that's some information there. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Let's get back on my phone. It sucks that it has me like this where I can't see my own comments. Crypto Scrooge, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Predictor. I mean, the XRP Diamond Hand, sorry. I gotta go, though, everybody. I gotta blow my nose. We've gotten everything I want to do today, so I feel good. But I still want to spend a couple minutes. I think I can spend a couple more minutes. I'd really like to get to an hour, only because I still have one more thing I want to show right here. We never went to the XRP Bitcoin pairing, and if it breaks down here, it is showing us that XRP needs to correct more. Like the technical drop here, it could give us something here, folks. It could give us something. So let's not ignore what it's trying to tell us. So this is what it was trying to tell us. And I think if it doesn't get through here, this resistance, that it's probably going to come back down. I think the XRP Bitcoin pairing, with everything it's showing us, if it breaks down from here, I think that it's probably going to get us down to like the 487. I know it sucks. I know it's a pretty far drop. I know it's kind of down there in a little bit, but it's starting to kind of show this kind of stuff to me. Louisville says, yep, maybe a good time to short, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. It very well might be a great time to short. It might be. Kraken Pro is the cheapest. I use it. That's your opinion. Kraken I use as a withdrawal hub, so I'm not going to argue that I don't. I like Kraken. I use it when I send my crypto to take off the exchange. I send it to if I want to put it into my bank account, I send it to Kraken. If I just want to put it on Cash App or Venmo, I just send it straight from BITUNIX. You don't even have to do a KYC. You just send it to your Bitcoin wallet, if that's what you want to do. Or on, I think, Venmo, you've got Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. It's pretty interesting. And yes, Tanya, safe travels out there if you are watching, love. Safe travels out there indeed if you are watching. Let's see. I think that's everybody I got to, so I think I'm good with comments now. I can just kind of... Ladies and gentlemen, when it gets, a little bit ominous out there, when we got a lot of people looking in different directions, when maybe we just don't know what's going on, yes, I may still be a little drainy, but I'm feeling a lot better. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the sun. Sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and it was epic and we rose and we failed and we rose and we hit the FEG. Oh yeah. Is the bear flag gonna break us? Stay true, stay blessed. Don't forget the Deathcross in the daily. And then also the rising channel, but I guess I can't put a rising channel. It might look like I'm trying to draw a, hey, you get it, a stepping, he's got a hurt back. He's got a little bit of, now I'm not sure what happened, but, it's always good to have proper perspective with sunny days. And then somebody made this for me. This is me. I'm famous. I said it clean one time, and they did this. Sunny days. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days. Throwing Tom's on me for $9.99 a month. So, some are saying the SEC just appealed. Is that so? Let's, where are you guys seeing the information? I'm gonna have to look when I log off here. So let me go to X. Oh, I'm Papa Wheelie. I'm glad that you enjoyed sunny days. I know a lot of people left because I know I'm leaving. So let's see if any of our friends shared. SEC files appeal. Here we go. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to end this live, and I'm going to record this, and you're more than welcome to listen to me while I do this in a separate live, but I'm only going to do the reading, and then it's going to be released, just so it's separated so everybody can see. Have a blessed night, everybody. But if you're sticking around, you'll be able to see this for about 5